Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of AEW Weekly Wrap-Up. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Today, we're going to talk about the shows, the Rampage and Glitch from last week. Also, we'll run down the results for All Out, and then talk about last week's, or this past Wednesday's Dynamite, and also tell about the upcoming shows and some Ring of Honor. So we'll just get right into it. So we'll kick it over with last Friday's Rampage. We kick it over to 10-team. No one can turn over the Ring of World Tag Team titles. Dark Order, Alex Rollins, John Cena to be Aussie Open Call Fletcher, Mark Davis, Best Friends, Chuck Taylor, Champaretta, The Outrunners, Truth Magnum, Terror Floyd, The Righteous, Dutch and Vincent, The Wingmans, Pierre Avalon, Ryan Nemeth, The Hardys, Matt and Jeff, Action Trade, Darius Martin, Gates of Agony, 2/3 of the ring, or 6-man tech champs, that is Con Toy Leona, and The Butcher Blade, 11 minutes and 39 seconds. Second match was a tag team match, El Hijo de Vikingo and Nick Wayne defeating Grant Gale, local Kip Sabian, 8 minutes and 25 seconds. Heyman Adam Page defeating Brian Keith, 3.5 minutes. In the main event, Sky Blue Will Night go defeat Anna Jay and Tal Falgary at 8.5 minutes. Honestly, I would on that episode of Rampage, I would say check out. I would just skip the battle royal, honestly, just check out the rest of the show. But that was last week's Rampage. Then episode 12 of Collision last Saturday, September 2nd. Kick it over with the trios to on Billy Gunn and the Acclaim. Anthony Bones, Max Caster retains over Angel Parker, Matt Menard, and Dale Garcia, 8 minutes and 33 seconds. In tag team action, Aussie Open Call Fletcher, Mark Davis defeating Commander and Nick Wayne, 7 minutes and 59 seconds. In a trios action, the Outcast Women's Champion Saraya, Ruby Soho, and Tony Storm defeat Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, and TBS Champ Chris Statler, 8 minutes 11 seconds. Power Hobbs defeating GPA in 9 seconds. In the main, Jay White defeat AEW World Tag Team Champion Dax Harwood, 20 minutes and 5 seconds. On that show, I would say check out the Aussie Open vs. Commander Nick Wayne match and the Jay White Dax. That's the only two I recommend from that show. Then we head over to Sunday, September 3rd. With all out 13 matches, 3 on the pre-show and 10 on the main show. So we'll kick off with the 0 hour, 20-man over the budget charity battle royal. Heyman Adam Page defeats Action Andretti, Angel Parker, Bishop Khan, Brian Cage, Chuck Taylor, Don Castle, Daniel Garcia, Darius Martin, Jake Hager, Commander, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, Matt Menard, Scorpio Sky, Serpentico, Sean Spears, Tony Leone, Tony Nese, and Trent Barreto. 13 minutes and 18 seconds where Heyman Page lost eliminate Brian Cage. Women's trios action, Hikaru Shida, Sky Blue Will Night go to be Ring Honor Women's Champion Athena, Diamante, and Mercedes Martinez, 8 minutes and 28 seconds. In the main event of the pre-show for the trios title, Billy Gunn and the Acclaim retained over Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and Saddam Singh, 5 minutes and 57 seconds. So we move on to the actual show. We're kicking off with the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. Better Than New Baby, the champs, AEW World Champ, MJF and Adam Cole, retained over Dark Order, Alex Ross, John Silver, 14 minutes and 8 seconds. For the Ring of Honor television title, Samoa Joe retains over Shane Taylor, 6 minutes and 23 seconds. For the TNT title, Luchasaurus retains over Darby Allin, 12 minutes and 14 seconds. Miro defeating Powerhouse Hobbs at 15 minutes and 34 seconds. For the TBS title, Chris Statlander retains over Ruby Soho, 12 minutes and 20 seconds. In a no disqualification strap match, Brian Dales defeating Ricky Starks at 16 minutes and 39 seconds. In tag team match, Blackpool Comic Con's Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta defeating Eddie Kingston and the pure champion Kaishiri Shibata, 15 minutes and 50 seconds. Kenosuke Takeshita defeating Kenny Omega, 22 minutes and 21 seconds. And 8-man tag team with Bull Club called Austin Gunn, Cone Gunn, J.Y. Chase Robinson defeating AEW World Tag Champs FTR and the Young Bucks, Matt Nick Jackson, 21 minutes 41 seconds. And for the international title, Jon Moxley defeating Orange Cassidy in the title at 19 minutes and 43 seconds. So what I made my predictions last week, I didn't know about the pre-show matches, so I'm not going to count those in my overall prediction scores, because by the time I finish recording, those matches were added. So out of those, 10 matches, I went 7-3. The only 3 I got wrong was the Powerhouse Hobbs match, the BCC Kingston Shibata match, and the Omega Takeshi. That's the only 3 I got wrong. But overall, I really enjoyed this. And on this show, I would say just skip the pre-show, to be honest with you. From main card, I say check out the... So, I'll have to give you my ratings. I do apologize. So, Battle Royal, I gave 6 out of 10. Same with the Women's Trios match, 6 out of 10. Trios title match, I gave 5 out of 10. So, the actual show, Ring of Honor World Tag Title match, 7 out of 10. Ring of Honor TV title also gets 7 out of 10. TNT title match gets a 6 out of 10. Miro for Fellow Hobbs gets a 7 out of 10. TBS title match gets a 7 out of 10. No DQ strap match gets a 8 out of 10. BCC versus Kingston Shibata gets 6 out of 10. Kenosuke Takeshita versus Omega gets a 10 out of 10. 8-man tag match gets a 7 out of 10. And the international match gets a 9 out of 10. I'm sorry, strap match gets a 9 out of 10. International gets the 8 out of 10. But honestly, I would just say skip the pre-show and just check out the main show, honestly. And then we'll head over to Dynamite from this past Wednesday. So the dark match was Johnny TV against one over Brandon Cutler. And then we kicked the show. Orange Cassidy makes his way down the ring without the. It's actually kind of weird seeing him without the title, to be honest with you. The Dr. Trump say, "Oh, but he wasn't going to." And then basically, as soon as he's about to leave, we hear the music of John Moxley. I mean, it was a quick promo from Mark. It was like 5 minutes, but I'm glad to see him on TV. But honestly, he should take a little, like, don't take it long, super long, but he deserves a little break. So we go to our first match. Speaking of the international title, champion John Moxley retains over AR Fox in 8 minutes and 23 seconds via Death Rider. Overall, this was a fun little match. Honestly, I just want 6 out of 10. But you knew Moxley was retaining. And then I like how after we go. Sorry, I can't talk today. The match Darby on checks on AR Fox. And then we see Nick Wayne watching on because Darby and Nick are facing on the court, which I'll tell about the full tournament in a second. And Nick Wayne walks when he bumps into the cage and Luchasaurus. And then I love where Christian just said that he watched his dad was a wrestler and he watched back some of his matches and he said there were a lot of force and he thought I did get a laugh out of that. But basically he was just trying to get Nick Wayne to get away from Darby and join them, which I actually do like to tease. Like it would be kind of cool actually seeing Nick Wayne join Christian Gage and Luchasaurus. But yeah, I thought that overall segment was pretty funny. And into our second match, another title match. For the TBSL, Chris Statler retains over Emi Sakura 4 minutes and 27 seconds via Wednesday Night Fever. Another fun little match. I just want 5 out of 10. I mean, you kind of figured she was retaining. And this is Emery Sakura's second match on Dynamite because she had the one last week. But overall, I actually really found this match pretty fun. So I just want 5 out of 10. And we see a sit-down interview with Rodron Kingdom where he's talking about his problems for his parents, where his mom had a drug addiction and his father had an alcohol problem. And so wrestling was a way to save his life. And then talk about how Adam Cole already knew when he grew up alone. And then he's going to win the Grand Slam tournament, which does start. So basically, actually, I'll talk about the brackets when we get to the tournament matches. But I thought this was a really great promo from Roderick Strong. And I believe he's talked to his family before, like in NXT. But I'm not 1,000% sure, so don't quote me on that. And then third match of the show, we had tag team match. Let's take guys, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara defeating Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis 11 minutes and 24 seconds via Judas Effect on Fletcher. This was an okay tag match. I continues the story where Jericho and Guevara have some issues. If this match was set up on last week's Rampage, where Aussie will win that battle royal, and basically they attacked Jericho, commentator, and Guevara made the save. But overall, I mean, it was all right. I just want 5 out of 10 as well. Then after the match, I forgot before I did the post match of Jericho. I actually hit Guevara update a couple of times. So I was still getting that tease of them having a match, which actually I'll talk about spoilers after his review. So basically, they just have a little pushing match. Security keeps on part Jericho. I didn't really get Aussie why Liz Scott's won. I think Aussie should have won this match to continue more of the teasing of the breakup, but then we had a field package of Ricky Starks after a strap match. Brian Dale's at All Out, where he shows off his injuries and he proved a point to Brian Dale's AEW. And Danielson didn't tap him out, which he actually didn't. He actually passed out. And he said he doesn't want to give a piece of bread and says he's been fed all with a 4-course meal. Then he says he'll be absolute Ricky Starks. He'll say until he dies. I thought this was a great promo from absolute Ricky Starks. But I thought it was really good. And then after the break, we see Renee interviews Callis and Takeshita. And then they're going to reveal a painting to reveal their next target for Takeshita. And then while they celebrate being Kenny Omega twice back to back. And then probably my favorite segment of the show, I'll talk about the second one later. MJF and Samoa Joe basically going back forth. And MJF talk about how they successfully retained the tag titles at All Over Dark Order. And then Tony Khan, so he had to wrestle on September 20th. That is the special episode at Grand Slam in Arthur Ashe Stadium against the winner of the tournament, which, like I said, when I get to the tournament, I'll talk about the brackets. And he said no one's on the level of Devil. And then we hear TV champion Mojo's music hits. And then he says a little PG show, but you know what he says, little P and vinegar. That's on going to try to keep this PG show. And he kept calling him kid 3 times. And MJF was, he got on his face after the 3rd time. And he was talking about the email how he said Regal, when he was 19, try to get WWE and Regal basically ignored him. We already know that story. And then that famous push there at NXT broke over with security and Smojo pushed him. And then I'm going all over the place, so I do apologize. But I thought this was really fun. So I like how MJF said theme music for an ice cream truck. And so yeah, in the ice control, he's busy being started to have company's network, topple twist and metal on Peacock. And then, but if you haven't checked that show, it's actually a pretty good show. I recommend checking it out. And then he basically called Joe Pillsbury Joe Boy, Samoa Doe, and more insults. And Joseph, I don't know why I laughed at these. And then, but first it was the name calling, and then the kid, third time, and then the Regal stuff. But you basically know, I'm just giving my thoughts here. And then basically Joe just beat him up, or sorry, before he said he was going tournament, and then beat up. Then he started attacking Joe or MJF after he kicked the rope into his private area. Tried to go for the muscle buzz, but Cole save him out. And he said, "You don't look so good," as MJF says, "Arms numb." And he says, "Next he's got tear in the pieces," and they call him a B word, which you already know. I like how Roger came out with the neck brace and then screaming screaming at him. But yeah, overall, the statement was really good. Honestly, I can't wait for the Joe MJF match, but I thought this was a great promo. So the Grand Slam tournament, it's a number one contender match for the world, or number one contender for the world title. So the brackets are, it's Darby Allin versus Nick Wayne, a triple for draw on this show. Then on Rampage tonight, it will be Pentagon Jr. versus Jay Lethal and Samoa Joe versus Jeff Hardy. And the semifinals take place on Collision this Saturday, and the finals take place next week on Dynamite. But our first of two quarterfinal matches on this show, Roderick Strong gets the win over Trent Beretta, 11 minutes and 2 seconds for the end of Heartache. I actually thought this was a pretty fun match. I just went 6 out of 10. But I like how after the match, Kingdom just put Strong's neck brace on, which I got a laugh out of that. But honestly, this was kind of predictable. Strong. But I'm just going to give my quick. I think the falls are also going to be Roger and Samoa Joe. But if I had to pick, I originally, before I found Joe was in door, I did say Roger Strong to keep the story of Adam Cole and stuff going. But when Joe got put in door, I think Joe's winning, but I would not be mad if Roger Strong wins. And then Renee gets back to Tony Storm, asked her about causing Rivers TV on Sunday All Out with the spray, but she said there's so many performances and can't remember it all and wants to move forward. And then Renee agreed, so she was talking about the Fatal 4 number contenders match next week, which also with the full card actors review was for a Grand Slam. And then she told her chins up, tits out, and watch out for the. And then she threw the shoe at her, and Renee said, "Come on!" But technically, she gave you permit. She gave you full heads up. So, and then we go into the ring. Tony Twenty introduced him and Paige won the 20-man over the budget battle royal on the All Out pre-show, and then he donated that to the Chicago Public Schools. And then he thanks AEW for giving the opportunity to give kids some money. And he was got done with the rest of the year, but we hear the song music of Swear Strickland, and him and Prince Sonna come out to the ring. And Strickland said he was the first place that go was Paige, and then to tell him basically the money and other stuff. But he was basically giving crap for being on the pre-show, but technically, I mean, Sword was on the show, so I don't know why he brought that up. Honestly, I don't know why he brought this up. But this was my second favorite segment of the show, by the way. And he's having how Paige hasn't had any titles or merch in about a year, and it makes fun of payments way. So he could have been the first Black AEW World Champion, which I can't actually see Swerve actually being the first Black AEW World Champion. And he tells him around sunset, and then Paige said he was done with this crap, and he was going. And he said if he wanted a match to go to the back, and then he started to leave and Swerve tells his family. He gets in his face with Brian Cage, lays him out with the drill claw. I thought this was a really great promo from both of these guys. I'm actually pretty excited for this feud between Paige and Strickland. But yeah, I thought this was really great. And in the main event, the other quarterfinal match, Darby Allin defeats Nick Wayne at 14 minutes and 58 seconds via a submission. So he'll face Roger in the semifinals on Collision. Another fun match. I just won 6 out of 10. I like in the spot where Darby and Nick Wayne are basically like trading elbows, and then Darby gets on the microphone, which is weird for him during a match, and said that stop hitting like 18-year-old and basically hit like you once a match. So Nick Wayne just nails him in the face with a super kick. But I like how I thought the match was gonna go super quick, because at the beginning where Darby had it toe to his seat, and he basically landed right on his neck, which that was actually kind of scary. Thank God he's okay though. But Yeah, overall, I give it a match 6 out of 10. And this was kind of predictable as well, but overall, not a bad down. This week's Dynamite, I give overall score of 5 out. Honestly, there's not really much matches I recommend checking out. Really, just the MJF Mojo and the Swerve and Heyman, really those two. But if I had to choose a match, I'd probably say check out the 2 Torrin matches. That's probably the only 2 I recommend checking out. So the Rampage tonight, the other 2 qualifier matches of the Grand Slam tournament: Pentagon Jr. versus Jay Lethal, and Samoa Joe versus Jeff Hardy. For bigger Christian Sky Blue versus Top Valkyrie and Jane and the Bunny Trios action, and the Young Bucks versus 2.0 and some tag team action. Then Collision on Saturday. I am going to give spoilers, so if you don't want to hear it, just skip like 5 seconds. So the semifinal or Roger versus Darby Allin, that one's not spoiled. The other semifinal, here's the spoiler, is Pentagon Jr. for Samoa Joe. Bullet Club Gold are in 8-man tag team action. And John Moxley defends the International against Action Andretti. And then next week's Dynamite, as Maze right now, finals of the Grand Slam Tour, Roger and Darby Allin versus the winner of the Pentagon Jr. Samoa Joe match. Britt Baker, Ricochet, Tony Storm, Rose, and a number 1 contenders fatal 4 match. We'll meet Saraya at Grand Slam for the women's title. And him Page versus Brian Cage. And then Grand Slam on September 20th. Here's now a spoiler match. A spoiler. MJF defends the one targets to be determined. Saraya defends one targets to be determined. And Chris Joe for Simon Confar. So it's AEW stuff. Now we'll go to Ring of Honor real quick. Episode 28. 12 matches on the show. Go with the women's on the line. I think retains over Allison Kate 9 minutes 20 seconds. Tony needs to defeat Saw herself 5 minutes 24 seconds. Tag team match in Spanish now Spider and Hale goes in Practical defeat and Priest Scott 3 minutes 31 seconds. Tag team match in Sky Blue and Night go defeat the Renegade Charlotte and Robin 5 minutes and 24 seconds. First of 2 program matches this time for the 6-man tag team title side. The champs Colin Brian Charlotte defeating Gravity, Griff Garrison and Mentally 4 minutes 45 seconds. Kier Ho defeat Layla Gray 5 minutes 38 seconds. 6-man tag match, The Inferior, Kylie Brown, Sean Dean, Timo Willie Mack defeat August Matthews, Dave Bain, John C. 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Leo Hirsch defeat Lady Frost 4 minutes 7 seconds. Eddie Kingston, Pure Champ, Kashiri Shabbat defeat Blake Christian, Greg Loco. That's 6 minutes 16 seconds. Another program match, Ring World Champ, Cody Custer defeat Lee Johns 3 minutes 36 seconds. Tag team match, Arn Savage, Boulder, and Bronson defeating Caleb Conley and Red Jones mid-23. In the main event, 8-man tag team match, Best Friends, Chuck Taylor, Trent Pratt, Tim Ashley Dry, Darius Martin, defeating the Outriders, True Man, to Revolt, and the Workhorseman, Anthony Henry, Jay Drake, 4 minutes and 49 seconds. Out of the show, I say check out the women's title match. And the Eddie Kingston Shibata versus Christian Local match. And also the 8-man. That was pretty fun. But that's the ones I recommend checking out. But that's the show for this week, guys. I'm your host, Ian Black. I'll be back next week with the usual AEW stuff. Ring of Honor. Have a good weekend. Stay safe.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.